Hello guys, and welcome to the first episode of the Be Edit, and that is my weekly roundup of what's new, my absolute favourites, recommendations, what I'm reading, what's going on in life. We're going to do these weekly videos, and over a few weeks and months it will hopefully evolve into something that I enjoy making and you enjoy watching. So yeah, the Be Edit will be a fixed thing that goes up every week on a Friday, probably Friday evening, and then there will also be a second video every week, but that's more fluid and it'll be just something that I want to focus in on. So for example, I filmed yesterday recreating Gwyneth Paltrow's Oscars makeup look because I happen to have all of the products that the brand Farah Hamidi used. There is still going to be beauty content on my channel because it's something that I'm really passionate about. It's something that really imbues me with confidence getting ready every day. Yesterday I organised my vanity and I am at capacity. The blusher drawer is packed, the eyeshadow palette drawer is packed, and so going forward I am not going to go as crazy on new collections as I've been in the past. I've got to use these things I buy, and the same with clothes. When I started losing weight, I just got absolutely carried away because there were so many things and brands and silhouettes and shapes that I could wear that I couldn't wear before. I bought too many. Then I carried on slimming, and some of those things I didn't even get a full season out of. So I've slowed right down, and one of the ways is to buy quality and buy less, but then maybe where it's trendy or I just see something and I want to be spontaneous, buy things at a lower price point. So we're going to start with this and Marks and Spencer's in general. I talk about Marks and Spencer's on my channel. I felt that in the last 3 years or so, I have found pieces that are cut well, fit well, great fabrics, slightly trendy, but also classic. I love the cashmere from Autograph. And I also love those affordable pieces like this blouse. I really wanted a polka dot blouse. I love chocolate brown and I love this sky blue. Everything will be linked, by the way. So it's got this frilly capey bit, light sort of slightly satiny but not too shiny material. And you know me by now, I'm not wild about really long sleeves, but because these are elasticated, you can almost do the elastic band hack without putting a band on. You can bring them up to the elbow and then fold them over, and that means when you're doing things they're not getting in the way, and you can style the blouse different ways. So I took this in a 16. I think it's pretty true to size. It's generous under the armpits, it's not pulling, but I did try on the 14, and if you've got a bust like me, I'm a D or DD cup, the 14 sort of pulled a bit here and it wasn't very nice. I've tucked in, but I tuck everything in. So this was about £35. This is this new piece from Marks and Spencer's, and I also have got two new jackets to share with you. So I picked up two faux suede, and you know me, I am a fan of faux leather and faux suede. So because this is a bit of a trend, I didn't want to invest hundreds of pounds in something from All Saints or another brand that I like that does real suede and leather. So this is just from M&S, and it's a little camel kind of coloured faux suede jacket. It's quite croppy, if you can see, and blues on. Really affordable. This was just the Marks and Spencer's main collection and is £46. You can tuck the waistband under if you're going to wear it done. I actually do like this one open too. I will link all of these. They're mostly still available and in stock, but I really like that colour. And I couldn't decide. There was this one, which is a per una one. They're both size 16. This is a bit more oversized. So this one is just a tiny bit longer. It's got pockets here, so it's got more going on. But I like these. They're very versatile and useful jackets to throw on. It sits a little bit longer. So I do think this one, when you do it up, you do need to tuck the elastic and have that blouson shape. I love the way that they've done the pockets so that you can put your hands in that way, and you can put things in the pockets if you want to keep like your phone or a lip balm or something. So this was a little bit more. This was £70 from Peruna. So there you go. Those are both from M&S. I love Autograph knitwear, especially their pure cashmere is really nice weight, really nice quality that doesn't bobble too much. So I just added a navy crew neck to my collection. I've worn my other two. I'll show you the colours I got. In this particular model, I've added the kind of cobalt, which I got a lot of wear out of in like January and February, and I'm still into now. And I absolutely love this one. This has been probably my most worn jumper this winter. I've got this and the matching cashmere scarf, and when you wear it together and take your coat off and leave the scarf draped round and the kind of oatmeal-y mole kind of coloured knit, I think it looks really sophisticated. So because I really needed a navy jumper or cardigan that was just a classic crew neck, and I think I picked this up because a Sparks card offer on knitwear or tops popped up, and I did get 20% off. I always make sure to try and time it so I get my Sparks discount. And then the last thing from M&S recently is these loafers. Yes, they're suede. I'm obsessed with suede, you know that. They are olive green, which is not an obvious choice for spring. They're a bit more, they're not chunky, they're a bit more smart for like skirts and things. I just thought, yeah, you might not wear them that many times as we get into spring, but then when September rolls around, you will, they're a classic shape with a slightly square toe, you will wear them, and they are beautiful. They're not autographed, they're just M&S, but they've got their kind of padded inner that gives you a bit of support, and these were £46. With the insolia, that's what it's called, the insolia that makes it, I've got joint pain, so I need a bit of support in my flat shoes. But yeah, those are my recent picks from Marks and Spencer. So I did a poll on my Instagram asking your guys' opinion on this jumper, which has got buttons down the back, not the front. This is from Jigsaw. I kept seeing this crop up on a Jigsaw ad, and I thought I'm either going to love that or hate it, and I did a poll, and honestly most people said don't buy it. A lot of people didn't like the idea of the buttons down the back. They thought it looked a bit silly, like you were putting your cardigan on the wrong way around, and some people didn't like the print. They thought the colours were too muted, but I love a kind of olivey, slightly warmer green. I love burgundies and this muted kind of burnt, almost a pinky burgundy, and then the neutral pink. What I didn't realise from the way it was styled in the ads is that it's more of a top. It's actually very sheer. Can you see my hand? It's very, very see-through. So I'm just going to pop it on so you can see. So here it is. It's quite fitted. I took it in an extra large, which I think in Jigsaw is a 60. I haven't tried wearing it as a cardigan, flipping it around the other way, because the way that the shoulder seam is quite dropped, I think it would look funny the other way, but I'm quite happy having the buttons down the back. It is see-through. I tried it with a cami, it looked a bit lumpy, so I've just got a baby pink silk bra on that kind of matches these flowers, and if you can see the bra a little bit, then lucky you, you'll just have to live with it. But there you go. I like it really casual with these jeans, but it also looks nice tucked in with things. And then we're going to talk very briefly about my search for the perfect yellow, and I bought this off the shoulder baggy jumper from Abercrombie. I'm just going to put that on for you in a minute, but there'll be a cutaway. It is off the shouldery, so you have to drop your bra strap on one side. I tend to do it asymmetric. I much prefer that. I took it in a medium, which is really like a 12-14, but people in the reviews said it comes up really big. And what I like about this is it's a clean pale lemon, which flatters me. The butter yellow that is a bit more banana-y, like a pale banana, it just looks so terrible on me, and I don't like it. I like a clean, light kind of primrosy yellow. So yeah, this is really nice. I'm having a bit of a phase with being absolutely obsessed with Abercrombie. And then this pair of jeans, which I love so much, I've got them in 2 sizes. This size is a bit bigger, so this is like a 31, I think, on the in their sizing, and I can tuck tops in, and they drop a bit, and they're a bit baggy. You'll see when I do the cutaways. Then I also bought the same jeans 1 size down, so that I could have them, they kind of sculpt and fit a bit better on the bum and the thighs when I want just like a neat, closer, tighter fit, if you know what I mean, more fitted. Anyway, so I think this is the 90s relaxed high rise. It's thick. It's not for high summer. I got them in this short because they come up really long, and they've just got the distressed hem, and it's this very nice light wash which goes with a lot of the blues and pinks. You know, we're into the Chanel denim makeup collection, and that's made me want to do this very girly, soft makeup with like a pink lip and a pink cheek. I mean, who am I? I've never done that before. So I'm in a girly moment. And then the other thing, just to share with you, is that an update on the Rixo sort of knitted jacket or cardigan. So I bought this in a size 16 from Rixo online to wear as a Christmas top in the beautiful bright red. Well, for a start, the 16 came up really big on me, the sleeves more than anything, because obviously the seam sat a bit low on the shoulder, then the arm was a bit too long. It looked frumpy. This is in the 14, and it means that the arms are just that much smaller, and I absolutely love it, and I think it's a real nice investment piece. You can wear this formally, and it's a kind of like a Chanel-esque jacket. It's like cable knit, it's comfortable, it's not structured because it isn't a jacket, it is a cardigan. It's got these lovely like nautical anchor themed buttons, pockets. I think it looks good because it is, I got it a bit smaller in the 14. It looks good done up, but it's not too big when I wear it. I would wear this open with a white tee and these jeans, Chanel ballet flats, or I would dress it up with tailored back trousers, pearls, and do more of a dressy thing. I switched from the red to the black because I knew I would only really wear the red in the holiday season. And this, for me, 250 quid for a cardigan is an investment purchase. I know it isn't for some people. And so I just thought, what is really classic? What's versatile? What will I get a ton of use out of? The black one. It also comes in a light blue. So there you go. So now I'm just going to do some little clips that I can insert so that you can see these things better. Okay, so here is the knit. So you can see what I mean. It's got a slash neck and slightly loose here, so size down if you get this one, but it's just a nice slouchy knit, and I love this whole Abercrombie look, and I love this clean bright yellow, this kind of any kind of camel or tan shade. I think that is a really nice outfit, and probably I would just wear it open with these looser jeans. I don't know what you think, but I really like it. So, a few extra bits to add to this week's edit. I'm going to do my Easter wreath and maybe share what that looks like with you. So I decided to get a kit like I do at Christmas. I usually go on a workshop because it's festive and fun, and just do it myself. I'm a bit nervous because there are living plants with roots and bulbs, and I've never had to like work out how to do that, but there are some step-by-step instructions. So that is my plan for this afternoon. And then I'm going this evening, early evening, to get skin pen microneedling treatment for this month's, I'm in like a membership club at my aesthetics office. So I just wanted to pick a few real standouts. Not everything I'm enjoying because it would be an hour-long section every week. So we're going to do beauty first. Non-makeup favourite of the week is the Clarins Super Restorative Hand Cream. So I've had the normal white packaging hand cream, which is very good. It's a real cult fan favourite from Clarins. They've been making it the same for years. It's very hydrating, but it's non-greasy. It helps with age spots, but this is like more expensive, more premium with more actives in it. So this one is for anti-age spots, replenishing, really like smoothing out the back of the hands. And I have had this now for only 2 weeks, and the quality of the skin on my hands is really improved. And I'm only using this at night because it is so pricey. It's about 50 quid, but you do get 100 mils. And the normal one that isn't as intense is more like mid 20, maybe 28 pounds. So I have one of those in my handbag and various other hand creams that I rotate. And this one I put a thick layer on at night because it's just going to sit on my hands all night, and that's how I'm using it. And I have to say, I think this is the best hand cream I've ever tried. Next up, I can't remember if I've talked to you about this or not, but I only got a small one to see how I liked it. I got the glazing milk from Rhode in with my order of the spring stuff. I got, which you'll see when I show you what's in my handbag, the 2 new lip peptides. There were 2 new, what they call, pocket blush. So I just got 1 pocket blush and 1 lip peptide. I know, give me a medal for restraint. The shade in each one that I liked the most. I do really want them both, but I just got to calm it down. You'll see. I might show you in next week's edit my beauty setup, and you will see how much makeup I've got and how there is no room for even the most skinniest, tiniest, maybe lip pencil. We are at capacity. So we've got to use what we've got and buy less for a while, which makes me feel all weird when it comes to makeup, but I've got to try. Anyway, so I bought this glazing milk because I was watching a makeup artist talk about prep and stuff, and she was saying, you think you're hydrating enough, but you're not. And so I've been adding in a glazing milk as my extra step. So I am trying the Viella FR Boom Boom milk and this one. And I'm going to just give it a bit longer before I decide which I prefer. As I said, I got this smaller size in case I didn't like it. And also this is going to be really nice for my holiday in a couple of weeks. And I just feel like having that extra milky toner step is really plumping my skin. So I'm really enjoying that. I don't like the smell of this when you first apply it. I think it's more almost the packaging than the actual product. There's a weird plasticky smell, but it dissipates very quickly, so I can live with that. Okay, on to makeup things now. In the last week or so, I have got 2 new complexion products. One is this new concealer from Patrick Tar. It is the Major Skin Soft Blur Brightening Concealer. And again, in these B edits, we're just going to skim over things very quickly. I like this. I like the packaging, feels quite luxurious. I will say the thread does not line up. Look at that. When you close it properly, the lid and the base don't line up. And I've seen a lot of people complaining about that. It's a nice formula. It really blends and it's extremely light and feels quite hydrating. But it hasn't got the coverage that, say, my Chanel concealer's got. But Patrick does say if you want to build up the coverage, if you dot it where you're going to place it and wait 30 seconds to a minute and then begin to blend, it will have dried out a bit and you will actually get a lot more coverage. I got the shade Light Neutral 1, and according to all the stuff on the site, I was pretty confident that would work for me. It's really light. So this for me is a brightening concealer where I'm doing my correction and concealing, and then I'm dotting just a little bit of that sort of right here to brighten. And that's nice because I haven't had a brightening concealer shade for donkey's years because I tend to favor matching my true skin tone. And I don't want that kind of Tipex vibe, you know, under the eyes, like when we were all using Touche Eclat and troweling that on years ago. But I haven't got a slightly lighter than my skin tone concealer. So it's got its place. I don't love it enough to go back and try and get another shade for coverage on the face. I've got just loads of concealers that I like, but this is pretty nice. Just the component is a bit weak, and the shade matching on the site is, I don't think the pictures are particularly accurate. This is amazing. This is the Sarah Creal Face Flex Correct. So it looks similar to her concealer, but this is the Corrector, and I think is new. My friend got this for me in the States and sent it over. This is the Instant Under Eye Brightener. It's very peachy. I have got the second shade up, I believe, which is called Power Nap. And I think rather than applying loads and loads of concealer, I like correcting. I like the Charlotte Tilbury one that's in a little compact, but it's just super dewy and shiny, and I like the formula of this more. You can see that peachy shade there. The next one up is really quite deep and orangey, so I had real confidence, because there aren't that many shades, that this was the right one for me. And in fact, because I'm light neutral and get a bit warmer in summer, I can see me being able to apply this under the eye and not covering it with concealer. So I have enjoyed using these together. This first, where you've got that kind of real trough and it's a bit bluey purpley, and then brightening with a little bit of this, has been really nice. I've enjoyed the combination of those together. Another fairly recent pickup, which I bought quite a while ago but didn't really use much because I've been trying to go back and use older stuff and not just always use the new stuff. And to that end, every Sunday I actually go in shop my stash and put a makeup kit together, and that's my makeup kind of for the week to make me rotate. So I've been going back to using the Givenchy pressed powder, and so I haven't been really using this, but this week I swapped for this, and I've been using this to see how I like it. It is the Easy Bake Pressed, the new reformulated Easy Bake Pressed from Huda. This is Cherry Blossom Cake, because I am obsessed, I don't know why, with pinky powders. I've got a few, and this is nice. It's a bit more powdery and full on than most of my very, very, very sheer powders that I favour. But there's a place for it. So for example, today I'm wearing Farah Hamidi, and it's very balmy and dewy, and I don't really mind that. I'm just going to mostly be at home, and then I'm going to take my makeup off to go to the clinic to have my treatment. But you can see there, you get a bit more. It's still very silky, but there is kick up when you run your brush or your sponge through it, and it really will mattify. So I get shiny like here and here. I'm just pressing in a little bit more, and it really, really works and soaks up any sort of sweat or oils. It's just a bit of another level of mattifying from the powders I've got, but I do really like it, and I really appreciate there's a mirror in here and the compact is really small. Okay, another thing I am really loving is this palette. I have been dabbling a lot with the whole blue eyeshadow thing. I've even got a little bit on from the Farrah trio today, just a little bit in the inner part of the eye, but the Chanel denim collection, and then I went back and got the Victoria wardrobe in the blue because I didn't get that when it came out because I was very scared of blues. I've just been doing a lot of blue eyeshadow looks, just a little bit. I don't do a full-on blue look. I'm very subtle with it, but if I'm honest, my true love is quite neutral makeup, so this is right up my street. This is the Couture eye palette from YSL in Nude Hours, and it is a beautiful 9-pan warmish neutral palette, and the packaging is like this. And I was just drawn, if I'm not gonna lie, the packaging, and I didn't get the face version. It looked so pretty, but I didn't like the shades in there, or not many of them, so I didn't get the face compact with the blushes and highlighters and stuff. But this, I thought, yeah, and I've become like a palette junkie, and I never used to like anything except singles and quads, but here we are a year later. I think what I will do is maybe, I'm waiting for my Mario Ethereal Eyes. I'm very excited about that to come. And I think when that comes, I'm gonna, in one of these videos or in a standalone video, maybe show you and swatch all of my bigger neutral palettes so that I could maybe recommend to you, if you're just looking to get one or something, like how they differ. And if that would be interesting to you, leave a comment down below. But I'm loving that, and it's such a good price, guys. As my friend Han pointed out, this is like £65, but look at the packaging. Not only do you get 9 shades, but they're bigger pans than you get in the quads. You get a ton of eyeshadow, like 0.5 grams in here, which is massive. It's bigger than even the big Chanel Jumbo Compacts. So it's going to last forever. And you've got a good, like a range of mattes and shimmers. I think the formulas in this are slightly easier to work with than the ones in the quads. So the shimmery shades are not as loose and glittery. And I even did this eyeshadow look yesterday after I'd done all my under eye and my foundation, and I didn't have any fallout, but I do tap off and I do go in very softly with, you know, a little bit at a time. But I just haven't used this one yet because I'm a bit scared of a matte black eyeshadow. But if you wanted to smoke something out, you know, it's useful. So I think this is a really good deal. And it's luxury makeup, it's not cheap, but I think for the amount that you get, and you compare it to other bigger like 9 pans, like the Chanel 9 pans that came out as a limited edition last autumn going into the holidays, were 130. They were like double. I mean, this is amazing. And now the last thing we're going to talk about is some lip products. So my hit in the last few weeks, I started with one, then I went back for another one because I saw that they landed on Cult Beauty, and then I went back for another one. So I have got 3 shades, which is against my company policy at the moment of trying to just be minimal. We're failing. Spoiler alert. This is the Hydrobalm tinted lipstick from Westman Atelier. To me, it is not as creamy and slippy as the, say, Cocoa Flash from Chanel. It hugs the lips and you only have to apply, it feels like a thinner product on your lips. So what we're going to do is just apply them. So let's start with the lightest one. So I got 2 that are a bit more sheer and pearly. One cool, one warm. So I'm going to start with Ballerine. They've got the same chunky packaging, but without the little mirror in there as you get with the lipsticks. So this is a pretty cool toned pink. Just move my mirror. And I got this specifically because I have for years avoided cool tone pinks on the cheek and the lip, thinking they're cool, they don't work for me. I do lean into more warm shades. However, some recent cool toned eyeshadow acquisitions have made me realize that was a gap in my collection. So I've added a few things. which you'll see over the next few weeks, from Chanel, and this, so that I've got options when I use that Cocoa, oh, I'm gonna get mixed up. Denim Dream, is it? The very cool toned quad from Chanel. I like it all cool, and I think this is perfect. So this is Ballerine. It's sheer, baby pink, and maybe because it's sheer, I can get away with it. I love that. Next, I got Nectar, which is peachier, but is similarly light. I mean, guys, I love these. I love these. So if I just take this one off. This is shinier even, more reflective than Ballerine. And you could argue, you know, you don't need those. They're too similar. I think it gives a different tone. And also with things like this, they're the sort of thing I like to have one in my bag, one up here, so I will just use them so much. And then lastly, I did go for a shade with a bit more of a kind of classic lipstick finish. Still very hydrating. There is this weird, like there's a delay, and then after a couple of minutes, there's a tingling as if they've got a bit of peppermint oil or something in them to give like a bit of a, I don't know if it's got a bit of a pH or plumping action. This one is English Rose, which is a slightly deeper pink. And I would say that this is, I'll put it next to Ballerine. It's got more of just a classic satin finish. It's not that sheer shine, more pigment, and is a neutral pink. I wouldn't say warm, but it's definitely not ultra cool. So I love these three. There are a load of other shades. Oranges, reds, but in a sheer way that you can go in subtle and build up. There's a brownie, rosewoody shade, which is the next one up from this, called Bob, that I could see me getting for autumn, but I wouldn't really wear it now, maybe. Look at that. Yeah, the tingle's starting now. But it's not crazy like the YSL lip oil, where you're like, oh, I'm on fire, and then it kind of chills after a while, and your lips are literally twice the size when you use that lip oil. It's amazing. This is just a little tingle. Some actives or something that are in there. I'll leave that on. That's gorgeous. Anyway, I'm not going to swatch the next thing. I might do a standalone video because we will just make this so long. But in here, this is my other recent obsession, and my obsession of the week, apart from those, is my Chanel. I got a new lip holder to put all my Chanel lipsticks together. So prior to this Christmas, I didn't have that many Chanel lip products. I had about 6 because I had this balm from last year. I had maybe 2 flashes, and then I had got leftover from last year. I need to really use these up. 2 of these lacs. And that was about it because I had used up or they'd expired like my L'Estray from the Christmas before. The Cocoa Rouge lipstick, their satin lipstick, kind of was relaunched and revamped and then disappeared because there was something wrong with the component. The bullet would come out as if it was refillable, but it wasn't supposed to do that. So they withdrew them all from the market. They've just relaunched those. And there are new limited edition Rouge à Lèvres Velvets. I got 2 with the Christmas collection. I got 2 in this limited edition run with the quilted top. The Cocoa, let me just put this down. They are amazing, and they are just a classic satin hydrating lipstick. So here is all my recent lip products. We are officially on, I don't like saying this to you in videos because then I set myself up to fail, but we are on a bit of a ban island. It's not about spend, it's more for me about what I'm able to use. If I've got too much choice, I don't rotate. I just use the stuff that's out. Same with my clothes, same with my bags. I get lazy. I get overwhelmed by trying to make a selection. So I've decided to really, really slow down on what I add. I've got to do a review for you. I've had this now for quite a while, like a month. This is the taupe bag I chose, the DeMellier Stockholm bag. I'm really happy with my choice. However, I am going to order a smaller bag, I think in the same colour with silver hardware, which is weird, but I'll explain at the time. I've also got my Speedy 30 out to do a proper review in comparison with this, so I'm not going to do that in this video, but just suffice to say, I'm really happy with my choice, and I do really recommend. The quality of DeMellier was something I was really interested to see, like what it was like, and I'm very pleasantly surprised with the construction and finish of that bag and the leather. I wanted a pair of these kind of oversized, more plasticky aviators with the top bar, and I don't know if it's something that is really my style or I'm going to wear a lot. So I did see that there were these YSL ones and a couple of other brands that were doing really high-end luxury shades. I do like luxury shades, but I'm that person that just has 2 or 3. So I've got Ray-Bans, one pair of Chanel that I love, one pair of Celine that I love. The Chanel ones have got are kind of black, the Celine ones are brown, and so then that's enough for me high-end wise. But I got these from And Other Stories. They are the oversized aviator. They come in different shades, but I like the oversized nature. They fit nicely, they're not heavy, they're comfortable on the bridge of the nose. They're not too exaggerated, but I like quite an oversized glass. So I really love these, and they were like £32. So, you know, let's see how much I wear these, and maybe if I think that this is going to hang around as a sort of trend, then I would maybe invest in a designer pair. But for now, I'm happy with these. And with cheaper shades, you could be a bit more, they just come in this non-padded little case, a bit more carefree with them. And then a little update on my Prada bag. You may remember various reviews of this bag where I told you that I wasn't mad on how this looks. It's very functional, but it's a bit busy for my sense of style. I like the little pouch, but sometimes I'd like to have that just in the bag and not on the front. I think it's a bit, it was a moment, this bag and then the multi-pochette from Louis Vuitton, like bags with coin pouches and things hanging off of it. I think, I hate to use the word, but I wonder if it's a bit passé, a bit naff now. You know, I'm not one of these people that tells you things are in or they're out. But then there are things that are very, very trendy and of a moment, and then the more trendy they are in the moment, the more they're suddenly not anyway. But this is very practical for walking around. It's very good quality. The clips and everything are lovely. However, the little silver chain that you can use to make this bag a little hand carry or shoulder bag, I don't really like it. I don't think it matches the quality of the bag or that bigger strap. The clips don't feel cold to the touch. They don't feel like they're real metal. They almost feel like silver coloured plastic. And I just think it's not up to scratch. And it's weird because I've not seen that mentioned in any videos when I was researching this bag. But I went on to Etsy and I bought this little Saffiano leather strap, and I much prefer this to the silver chain. It just feels more solid. The silver chain, when the bag's got stuff in it, feels really flimsy and almost like you're going to drop the bag. I don't know how to explain it, but this is the perfect length. If you were going to get the version of this bag that's a lot cheaper than the one I got, because it doesn't have that long strap or the silver chain, you can get it with just the little Saffiano, and it's more short like that. It doesn't really fit on my shoulder, so it would have been a bag that I just held in my hand. And I was torn between the aesthetic, which that would have served for me, that minimal, hate to say it, I say it all the time, 90s, noughties vibe, versus the practicality of the strap options. So for me, finding this little leather strap, I know it looks a bit busy with the lobster claw clip and everything, but this is a bit longer, so I can actually wear it on my shoulder. And I really enjoy the bag this way the best out of all the strap options. And this was about 15 or 20 pounds. It's real leather, but it was made in China and I had to wait 2 weeks for it to arrive. I'm not going to link or promote because I don't know enough to know if maybe you would order one and it wouldn't be the same quality, but it is real Saffiano. It looks very well finished. They do a lot of different lengths and things. So if you want it, if you really want to know, then you can DM me on Instagram at bshopspink and I will just send you the Etsy link. But this has made this bag something I'm wearing all the time, and in terms of capacity and the bag and the zip and everything, I really love it. I'm glad I got it. I just wanted to share my most worn lip combo. So I've been using my favorite lip liner ever, which is my Rhode Peptide Lip Shaper. These lids fall off. And then I have been going in with the new spring shade, the Peptide Lip Balm from Rhode in Sweet Pea. It's just so, let me just put it on. It's so beautiful. I love the overdrawn, messy, quick, blurry lip line. I have never got bored of these. I know some people say They don't wear very well. I don't care because I enjoy reapplying. I've got about 4 just in this lunge shade. There's one in my car in the glove box. There's one in every bag. Not every bag, but whatever bag I've got. There's one here at the makeup station, and I have an unopened backup. And then I go in with this, which is such a lovely sheer pink. It smells gorgeous of berries. It's glossy and hydrating. I just love those together. Oh, it's the little things, isn't it? So there you go. I probably will go back and get the Pretzely one when they're on Sephora here. So I'm not, you know, paying for shipping. There were 2 new pocket blushes. I got the red one, which is called Candy Apple. I love a red blush. And this is such a gorgeous hue or shade. It doesn't just, a lot of them look hot pink when you blend them out, if they're cool toned. This is a true candy apple red. Snow White red. Very flattering, a natural flush actually. The other one was a raspberry pink, a cool toned raspberry pink, and I don't know if that would work for me. And I already have this one called Sparkle, which is probably lighter than the new raspberry shade, but I just, does it smell of anything? No. I figured, did I need that raspberry pink? Probably not. So I've got now 6 of those pocket blushes, so I resisted adding the raspberry pink, but I'm sure it would look lovely on anyone. Anyway, so that's everything that I'm currently really obsessed with. I have just finished this book, which is called Fashioning the Crown by Justine Picardie. I actually went to a talk in Bath. I dragged my poor husband with me. I love that writer, and she was great. I met her, and she was so friendly. She dedicated this to my daughter, even books that are more for me, because I'm going to then give them to her in the future. To CC, best wishes, Justine. And this book is about how the monarchy, and in particular Queen Elizabeth in her era, a story of power, conflict and couture, and about how her image and her clothing and how she presented herself was part of how we see her and the message that they want to put across. And there's a lot of history in there, hardy aims, all that stuff about the resistance and fashion and the resistance, following on the themes that she, further developing the themes that she wrote about in Miss Dior. And she also wrote what I believe to be the best biography of Chanel. So she's a great writer. And what I'm going on to when I've done I've got like 2 chapters of that left. I love Devney Perry. I read her on my Kindle, on Kindle Unlimited, all these romances set in Montana, small town. That is my guilty pleasure. But she has gotten into the fantasy realm, and this was a huge hit. This is the hardback of Shield of Sparrows, a nice moody fantasy novel. Can't wait to get into that. This is going to be an amazing adventure, so I'll let you know in future edits how I'm getting on with that. And that finally is it for this week, and I'm going downstairs now to make my Easter wreath. I will let you know how I got on. If you have any questions about anything, please leave them down below. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and this is, I promise, going to be a weekly upload every Friday. If I go away or something, we will tweak the schedule, but on the whole it'll be every Friday. If you think that's not the optimal time to put a weekly roundup up, and you think instead it should be Saturday morning, let me know what you think. I will try to include variety like I've done today, but it will be different things every week. Some videos might be shorter if I haven't got much new to share with you, and some will be up to an hour if there is just loads of stuff like that's happened that week. Let's just let it evolve and see where it goes. And thanks so much for watching, and please remember, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and please give me a thumbs up, and I'd be very grateful. Take care. So I ordered a kit from a florist in Shropshire. I've got my scissors and my secateurs. Included in the kit was this foliage, lots of moss, a wreath ring, a wire ring, some pins and wire, and all these lovely little plants. This tray of viola I've added. There was some ivy, let's see what we can create.